Hey, hey, squad. How you bossing? Boss ladies, boss men, how y'all bossing? It's your girl Kaylee, and welcome to the corner where boss situations are the nitty and life situations are the gritty. So, yeah, we're back for a little BS today. We're gonna keep it real simple, real smooth, get into a little bit of life and bring on a new face. We're gonna vibe out with my girl today. But before I bring her on, y'all already know what to do. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe, let your girl know you are in the corner with us this morning, this afternoon, whatever it is for you. Cause we keep it bossy, we keep it saucy, and we're going to get into this good conversation in just a moment. All right. All right. So I'm not going to hold y'all. We're going to bring on She's a Rebel. Y'all welcome her to the corner. Welcome her to the squad. Hey, girl. Hey.
Peace, peace, peace. Hey.
Love it. Love it. Love it. How are you today?
I can't complain. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a little cloudy today, but we're gonna vibe out. Are you a person who celebrates 420?
Not at all.
Not at
No,
all.
but I did make a post like, don't y'all go getting dehydrated today.
Facts, facts. Like I know some people who are definitely waiting and ready to, light it up and have a good time. Um,
hmm
I'm not gonna say I do as well, but I love seeing those who are in their happy spaces on today. So it be real funny, real love and peaceful for me when I see them.
Yeah, and the 420 ones, they 420 every day anyway, but something about the 420 go extra, you know what I mean?
Right? It's like the 4th of July, the Juneteenth of
Like they got their independence on drugs or some shit.
right.
hmm
Okay. So y'all, this is my girl. She's a rebel. This is one of my other pandemic friends. Like we met and instantly became like one. Like what was the
hmm
defining moment for you saying like this is my girl? What was it? What was it for you?
Honestly, yo, you know what? You was very responsive. You know what I'm saying? You was very, very transparent and like your compassion came through. Like you was always kind of like, you got it, you good, do you understand this? You need help. I'm available whenever you know what I mean? And so the simple things for humanity, I'm like pro, like for it. So
Well,
you did it.
I'm
And I
happy you
reciprocated.
feel that. Yes, because when I say the passion is real, like I didn't know meeting other women in these Facebook groups would kind of, match me with other people who are into the same things that I'm into in this magnitude. She's also a
hmm
podcaster, you guys. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
the
Let them know
brown
about
table.
let them know, let them know.
So the brown table, I had to take a pause, but I birthed the brown table right at the opening of the pandemic. They put my ass on punishment, and I was like, "What? I can't connect to people? Like what?" So I feel that there's power in sharing stories, and I think that the goal for the podcast was yes, the goal for the Brown Table podcast was for people to share their stories in hopes to, uplift and inspire someone else and be relatable and let people know, like, Berber, you're not alone. Like, we struggling too. You don't think because we might look good, we got the same story. We share similar pains. So I did take a pause though. But my baby's still there. So
Yes, yes. So go ahead, let the people know a little bit more about you, where you're from, what you do, what do you put out into this atmosphere for us?
I'm trying to put some conscientious stuff out here. You know what I'm saying? The people not listening. But
Mm,
so I am an open mic artist. I don't like to say poetry, but I do perform unapologetic poetry. And I'm literally just sharing my story. So everything's under she's underscore rebel. You can see some of my performance, my live performances. I'm a full-time college student, full-time mom, full-time
yes.
melanated woman. But right now I'm studying sociology. So I'm really interested in understand how one thing led to another thing to get the out thing of the thing. You know what I mean?
Right?
Um, and really trying to understand like when, you hear people say, oh, break generational curses and generational traumas. And it's like, breaking what that I don't know about, breaking what that I can't see, you know? So sociology helps me really understand the onset of things and the outcome of things. Um, but ultimately, my goal is to flourish my podcast, right?
Yeah.
Because podcasting is like music and it's universal. You understand? So anybody struggling, anybody looking for just, another piece of fresh air, another piece of hope, like I know the Brown Table podcast will reach universally.
Yes.
But ultimately I want to coach. I want to coach at-risk males, whether
Okay.
that's youth, whether that's, men incarcerated. I want to coach them in form of trauma awareness. So
Okay, that's righteous. That's righteous. So we,
I'm
we
telling
definitely we definitely gonna get into this a little bit. So we're gonna get into one of my favorite things here. Little icebreaker, this or that, spoken word
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
writer edition. So just we're gonna keep it real simple. Um, so are you a nighttime or a morning time person? Like when do your best thoughts come through?
I'm nocturnal.
Mm.
I'm nocturnal. Like first thing in the morning, I'm more likely to commit murder. Um, Maybe you might want to bleep that out. But no, honestly, like I'm not. I've always, when I was in corporate, like I always held a corporate job. But the
Yeah.
morning is just kind of like, wait, what? Like I need to register. I'm like, what? So, but I'm very nocturnal. Soon as the
Okay.
lights go out outside, I'm like, oh, I gotta write this. I gotta clean that. I gotta prep this. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
nocturnal.
I get it. Like thoughts be I can lay down like, yeah, I'm finna get some rest and then wait. mm,
Yeah,
gotta get it out, gotta get it out.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So are you a plotter or you just a go with the flow? Like whatever come out, it comes out.
Am I a plotter?
Yeah. You gotta have a plan for it or it just comes out the way it comes out.
I'm a little combination of both. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So sporadically, yes, but then it's like goal driven wise and being oriented to locking in on something. Oh, I'm plotting. Like I'm figuring out how to execute. I'm writing it on a board. I'm erasing the board. I'm rewriting it. But for the most part, in terms of just my personality and how I move, I'm kind of like, let's jump. What we
Yeah,
love doing.
yeah.
We let's jump. You know what I'm saying? I got all the weapons. Let's jump. So
Right, right.
I think my best equipped weapon is being resilient, and that
Gotcha.
kind of fuels the sporadic jumping. You know what I mean? But
Right.
times you gotta lock in. No, stay focused. No sporadicness and focus and like
Hey, it's a time and place, time and place. Your
that
moment
part.
appears. Got you,
That
got you.
part. That part.
Okay, in your creative processes are is there music involved or no music involved? Does it gotta be quiet or you need a vibe?
Man, no. So I think that I need a vibe, but then like my own vibe of myself kind of can be a curse and a blessing because all the little people upstairs they be like, I'd be like, wait, I just had to write the block. But I think that for me, it's definitely music. Like I, my life is all about music. And so being in a quiet space doesn't really sit well with me because I feel like the more quiet space inside like home, I come here more, right?
Yeah,
But now if it was a quiet space after I was hiking and it's, more nature sounding environment, I'll be okay with that. But for me to create, oh yeah, I'm definitely throwing on some throwbacks. I'm definitely bringing it back to the 80s, set 90s. Like, yeah, man.
love it, love it. I
Hmm.
take my I shout out to a calm vibe function because he gets me through days at work. Like he was one of my producers for one of my earlier songs, and he's
Hmm.
created a YouTube to give you all like the study songs, the music that you need when you're trying to study, trying to do some homework, or you just need to center yourself and zen for a minute. So shout out to him.
Yes.
His playlist gets me through at work.
Okay. Oh, see that's a piece. That's a piece just to breathe again. Shout
Yeah,
out to
yeah.
you, sir. Yeah, that's dope.
Okay. So when you're doing your spoken word, is it first person or third person?
I'm kind of stuck. You know what I'm saying? They be all the people. You know what I'm saying? I be
All of
like, so let me tell you. So I write and then I draft, right? And
okay.
then I notice just what you said. I'm like, dude, like, is it fucking I or is it when you see like them and or we or they? Like, I'm like, what are you doing? But that's what makes me unapologetic. It's like, long as you get the message, I don't care.
I agree. Like when I start writing, well, I noticed like when I started writing a song, I'll start with I, and then I'll get into, well, they had this happened or they did, and I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
but like you said, if they get it because I can talk about this part and then I can bring you in later. So
hmm
who knows? Who knows? All
I
right.
think for me with that really quick is that the situation that you might be trying to talk about changes. So then you kind of unconsciously remove the I. You know what I mean? But I do have some first person, stories when it's like you don't understand what my struggle is. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
So
Fact.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. And last one. Are you the type of person that focuses on one piece at a time, or you can do multiple?
One piece at a time.
Okay.
One
I
piece
wouldn't
at
have
a time.
thought that. I wouldn't have thought.
One piece at a time. Now,
Okay.
now I can have multiple drafts available, but if I'm starting and closing, it's only that piece. Because I'm drafting, I'm throwing away paper, I got the trash bucket, and I'm one piece.
Okay. Got you. Got you.
I can cook
Like,
and write a piece, but you know what I'm saying? Not multiple at the same time.
listen, it gotta get done. It gotta get done.
That part, that part,
Like
that part.
I think I'm centered like when I'm really in it and all of the energy is pouring out for that one song. But I also have drafts for like a million, like this thought popped in my head. So I made an additional note. Like I got literally about 1,000 notes. And that's just
Hmm.
in my phone. Not talking about what
Hmm.
I've written down, but yeah,
Right.
it gets
Just
crazy.
all over the place.
It gets crazy.
And that's how we know. That's how we know what our purpose is. You know what I mean? What we're passionate about because it comes naturally. We don't try to like let it go. We try to jot it down right quick. Then you got a whole bunch of jot downs. But see, I
Yeah.
revisit mines though. I'll revisit mines and put them together. But sometimes it is hard when you're trying to capture that exact moment that you're in, and then you pause it and then try to get mentally back in that moment. You know what I mean?
Listen, you
I
speaking
know.
you are speaking my life. So that's why I had to postpone the EP for a moment because I feel like I got out of the space that I needed for it. But I'm slowly getting back into it because it must come out. It must.
Yeah,
I
you
must
see what
get
I'm saying? It's like on your sub. It's like a monkey on your back. Like it's on the back of your brain. Like it's like I'm gonna get to it. And you just go right back into it. And that's how I feel about resuming the brown table. Yeah,
yeah. And we're gonna get there. So how are we collabing in 2024? What we
that's
gonna
what
do?
I'm trying. Listen, we gonna do this across streams. We can bring, because I believe in having an audience and people, but sometimes when it's good energy we can talk about whatever. But I would love for you to kind of construct the brown table.
Okay.
Yes, yes. People want music to my pieces, but I don't like to use the word can't, but I don't hear the way the music is in my brain to
Okay.
performing at the same time. I'm like focused on a damn song. I'm like, wait, what? Like, you know
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying? But however we can,
Hmm.
collaborate them too and incorporate it on the brown table and bounce audiences will be great.
I think we can make that work. I think
Hmm.
we can definitely make that work on both
Hmm.
ends. Okay,
Right, right.
we'll talk. We'll talk because
To be
I
continued.
yeah, because I actually need a little bit of assistance for this next project as well. So
Okay.
yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Okay, got you. Got you.
Okay, so let's get into it. Self-expression. Like, can you remember your first piece that you ever wrote, and what was that topic if you can remember it?
So my first piece it didn't have a topic.
Okay.
I was just fucking mad. And then, I just I've been journaling since my first journal I have from 97 and 98. And I was in like middle school.
Yeah.
So I was just writing and then the words, people ask me what type of writer I am. I don't know the correct verbiage, but there is one. But like every third sentence would rhyme with the first one. You know what I mean? So
Okay. Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
just writing. And then I was like, okay, this is I feel released and I just kept it up. But going back to one of my first pieces that I did name was knowledge of self. And um, it was really more of like a sexual piece.
Okay.
Um, yeah, knowledge of self.
Okay.
Yeah. If you
Okay.
don't know how to touch yourself, baby, they don't know how to touch you either. So you got to figure it out.
Ow.
I'm just saying, let's be honest.
For
Let's be
real.
honest. So, yep, knowledge of self. Yep.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So I know this is kind of I think I know the answer to this, but let the world know. Do you classify
Let the
yourself
people know.
do you classify yourself as a shy person?
Shy. What? No. For what?
Not too tall.
Not at all. Okay. I don't, but you know what? I think like I know what I stand for, but I don't know who I am because I'm
Okay.
still exploring. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? People be like, "Oh, this is who I am." You kind of stay in that little. I don't like the box. The only box I like is the one below my waist. You know what I'm saying? So with that, with that being said, I'm not even. I'm not shy. It's just kind of like, "Hey, how you doing?" But I get so much people gravitate to me. I can't be shy, but I'm not shy.
Okay. Are you an
What is
introvert
you
or
shy about?
extrovert? That is
Extra.
true.
Because
Okay.
you know what, I make it sound easy, but in all honesty, like the
I was
learning
just
curve
gonna
was,
say,
I do make it sound easy, but the learning curve was I took 5 years for myself. You know what I'm saying? And I really like had to start sorting through some shit. And I'm like, well, what does it look like loving yourself? So it's like, damn, if I got an opinion, I'm gonna say it. If I feel some type of way, I'm gonna mention it. If you don't like it, then blessings to you. But so when I started really like self-loving journey over the 5 years, it's like I got morals, I got principles, I was raised by elders, so I can utilize my mouth long as I'm keeping it respectful.
right.
And then it started getting a lot of traction. Like people started really gravitating. And I'm like, well, just say the shit. You know what I mean?
For
Like,
real.
but people really have a hard time with that. So being extroverted isn't always a good thing. And I know the news, sometime I think after the first year of the pandemic, the news did surveys between intros and extroverted people. And because I had a hard time with it. I was stressed out.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And some people I learned that you have introvert and extroverts, then you have socially introverted people. And
Yeah.
that shit, I just learned about that last year. I was like, how are you socially introverted? You know what I mean? Um, but
Social battery runs low for some people really,
yeah,
really
like
quick.
people be like, it's been an hour, I gotta go. But I feel like everybody just has their comfort zone. And for me, being introverted, a part of the thought of being introverted smothers me. Like I'm not letting
Mhm.
everything out. I'm not, I'm,
Yeah.
I'm holding it in, not to say that's what introverts go through, but that's how I feel. So I'm like, communication's like shit, better out than in. And that's how I move. You know what I mean? So
See, I think it's more easy for people who are introverted to kind of feel comfortable when they have people like you who can kind of help lead the conversation because I admit it all the time. I think I sent a message to my family and I was like, I apologize if I get quiet, but my social battery runs low. Like I feel like socially awkward sometimes because what do I say? What can I say?
you see what I'm saying? So when you feel socially awkward, right?
Yeah.
What are you factoring in? Are you factoring what other people think, how they feel, if you're saying it right? Like, what is your brain going through?
Yeah, yeah. So long, you have to figure out like what are people and it comes in with the expectations. And I know at this point sometimes that does not really matter. But then when you get in a space with people that you do respect, what is it that they see from you or would like to hear from you if they want you to even talk or if they got time for you. And that be the factor for me. Like sometimes I feel like mine's come out a little slower. So are you having the time to hear what I'm saying? And then I go into my little quiet bubble because I don't feel like you really want to hear what I'm saying.
Mm. So you're like subconsciously critiquing yourself at the same time.
Facts. Heavily.
Hey, hi Canada.
What's good?
Can I talk to
Omega.
the people? I was
Yeah,
talking.
definitely, definitely. She was on was it about 2 episodes ago?
Mhm.
Look, boss. Boss. Y'all need to connect.
No, you got to bring it to the table because we
Yeah,
we finna
yeah,
light. I want to light people's torches too. Just don't blow mines out after I light yours because you gonna really
yeah.
see the rep.
Facts, facts. Nah, it's all love. It's all love. We're definitely gonna get a women's empowerment table going. So I'll let you know the dates of that, and you let me know if you're
Perfect.
available.
Perfect.
Good, good,
Perfect.
good. But yeah, getting into those, um, what is your writing process like when you're in the moment and it's something that's heavy on your heart? Like, what is your process to get it out?
To write.
Yeah,
So okay. So I got this small OCD thing because I don't
yeah,
really like to claim diagnoses, but like, don't give me no fucking wrinkle paper. The paper cannot be. No, I swear, like the
yeah.
paper cannot be wrinkled, and then if it has like the imprint of whatever was written on the first page, I'm not writing.
Ooh, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not, you understand? I'm
Yes.
not writing on it. And then I need a good pen. And I don't write in pencil, but I need a good pen. But after that, like I'm literally just flowing. I just do, 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 do.
Okay, and when you go back, you say you like to revisit it. When you go back, do you kind of like, that didn't really go, so I'm gonna take this out? Like, does it take away from the message or the value of it? Like, how do you make sure that it's perfect for you?
So I write it out. Yeah, so I always draft. Especially if it's on the spot. Say if in the middle of watching the show and something's coming to me. I'll draft it out. Boom, that's done. When I go revisit it, now I'm looking to substitute words. I'm looking for better verbiage. And I'm
Mhm.
looking for place.
Yeah,
But the
important.
natural flow and rhyme, I don't even. It just literally comes natural to me. So I never even understood that, but it just comes natural.
Yeah, so I had one of my students, she was like, I'm having issues with, with the flow of this. What is it? So I was like, you got to pay attention to your syllables as well, especially with it, because whatever the beat that she's listening to, you got to make sure your syllables, match. So you still get that breath control that you need in your
Mhm.
statement. And then I said, play with it, elongate some words, you know, double
Mhm.
it up on the next. So we had a whole little session in the office one day, and I'm like, just work on it, just work on it. And
Nice, nice.
she produced one and performed it at our fashion show. And when I say hit, hit,
Is she lit? Oh
yeah, yeah,
wow.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. That's a blessing. Yeah, man. I feel like so the rhyming part just comes natural. Like the words, like I said, every third sentence I'll rhyme the word or whatever. But I feel like once you have the narrative, however the narrative is, like
Hmm.
it's not hard to kind of keep going off that narrative because essentially it's your why to that piece.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why did I start this? What was the message conveyed? So that's going to stay the same. Now, how you revise it and whatever your revisions are, that's cool. But sometimes I feel like, you know, sometimes I feel, thinking of you being introverted, sometimes I feel isolated depending on my pieces because sometimes I feel like they're on a higher frequency than my environment. And those are the
Mm.
pieces that I won't always perform. And
Ah.
it just came to me because of you doing stuff to me.
I get, I get it. I get it. It's like I don't think they're gonna really understand this one.
Yeah, man,
I don't think
right.
I made it to that level of understanding of this topic. Like, yeah, it's a lot.
Absolutely.
I be thinking, and sometimes I think so far off. It'd be like, did you really catch that, or you just agreeing? You just agreed.
Right, right. Because we want them to catch it, but I think ultimately, like, we do have to trust that the seed got planted somewhere. Maybe not all, but
Yeah.
somewhere.
So we did have a conversation about perception. Like, that was the theme of the week last week. Perception. I
Hmm.
can say one thing and you can perceive it however you perceive it because of the placement that you are
Yeah.
in, the stage in your life that you're in. And we talked about that too, the stages of life. Like, there are stages, you got your toddler, your adolescent, teen, but people don't really understand that there is stages in adulthood also. And that's where some of us got a little off track last week because it was like you only seeing it from this perception and you seeing it from this point of view because this is where you are and you really can't see up here quite yet or you
Mhm.
can't see down here because you made it up here. So
Right.
it was a whole thing. How do you feel about that? Like how can you what would be a good way to express that statement?
Um, I feel like people have to be interchangeable. And I feel like you have to understand where your comfort zone's at. So if you're comfortable over here, don't deny over here because you're comfortable right here. But the thin line between that is you holding yourself accountable and being able to reflect.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be in my space to
To
understand
understand
my
my space.
perception. I'm not
Yeah.
asking, and I think this is why it's hard to communicate amongst different cohorts, is that people want to be true or false. And sometimes understanding will just work. Long as you understand, you don't gotta agree with me. Just understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Understand how this might have made me feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I see where I am because and I understand my point of view. I see yours and I can respect it, but you still can't change my part of it. But I get you. I get you. I
Right, I
wholeheartedly get
get you, and I don't even agree with you, but I get where you're coming from. I can feel where your mind was thinking towards an app, but you know,
yeah.
that's okay.
I just love a good round table. Everybody put their ideas and thoughts out there. We have to people don't understand. We have to be able to understand others in order to bring more ideas to the table and figure out new things to do. Like
Well, I
we don't always have to, my way or the highway. It could be a collaborative effort.
I think that depends on the mindset of the people, right? Like obviously cliche, there's no I in team. However, when you think about any large corporation, when you think about politics, everybody is at a table. They're not at a table because the fucking table's round. They're at a table because there's difference of opinions and perceptions that contribute to the main goal. You get
Right.
what I'm saying? So I do think that people need to understand, like, you know, sometimes when you're comfortable in places, you're so comfortable that you don't want to see nothing else because right now works for you. But there's other variations or chapters that you will endure, that perception that you was denying might work for you next year. It might have worked for you back then. You know what I mean? But you have to be willing. And sometimes it is hard to formulate a table when people's like, no, Rebel, you're wrong. That's my fucking opinion. Like, what?
Right.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying that this is how I
And I
feel. This is
thought,
how I
yeah,
perceived it. That's it.
yeah.
And those are the people that, we keep gravitating towards and keep drilling at the goal. All the narratives will make sense. All the variations of opinions will make sense. And that's why you never really have just one host on a talk show or, just one radio host. You have a variation because it touches people in different ways, you know?
People don't I've noticed this a lot. So, with target audiences for bigger platforms, you have multiple subgroups. It's
Yeah.
okay to have different people because that person may, resonate with this subgroup. That person may resonate with that one. But if you all can show camaraderie and show what it looks like to agree to disagree, it makes it normal for each subgroup. Like, okay, maybe I can also have these conversations with other people and see learn you learn so many new things by talking to different people who have different point of views. Now, like I said, you might not always agree, but at least you can take it back and I find myself out applying stuff that I've never applied before just by talking to
Hmm.
different people. And
Yeah.
it works. It
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you got to be willing though. You got to be willing to step out and do something different. But I think that behind the willing, you have to want something.
That's right. That's
You
right.
have to want something. And some people, again, some people are so comfortable. Some people are so distracted on miscellaneous bullshit, and just that statement, like people like, oh, what I'm focused on is not miscellaneous, like it's not bullshit, it's not distraction, but it is. You know what I mean? But it is. So it goes deep. It goes deep. But that's why we got each other because we understood the assignment the first time.
Facts.
I told you I was like, you stuck with me now. You can't get rid of me. Have a nice day. Like I don't care.
Fact, she did, you guys, she did. She left me a voice, and that's how we used to communicate, voice notes. And I look, I love her voice. Y'all love her voice. I love her voice. Like,
Man, so you know
you
what's
have a
so
whole presence.
crazy? Dude, when I first became a mom, I was like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm moving to a different state. Fuck Boston. I didn't mention that in the beginning. I'm from Boston, up north,
Fact.
where all the snow gets taller than me because I'm only 5.5 feet tall. So I went to Georgia, and I always heard, that's the very first time I heard somebody be like, I love your voice. And I'm like, I don't even open it. I don't even sound like, a soft chick. Like, I be like all rough, and they're kind of like, oh, you can go on air. And I'm like, my family don't come from nothing. What the hell you talking about? Somebody can go on air and be lie talking about, and they're like your voice. And I've never heard because I've been here in my mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's my belief process. So my belief process was, you don't sound feminine. You don't sound, you know what I mean? Like it's just rough, rugged, and raw. So I always struggle with that. But like when I moved to Georgia, I had multiple people. I mean, multiple people like, come on, ear, your voice, you got this distinctive voice.
You
And I'm like, no,
do.
I don't. Have a nice day.
You do. And
I don't I don't know
your
what y'all
energy,
talking about.
just hypes it up even more. So yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. But I don't know what y'all talking about. Like, cause there's sometimes I be want to convey a message and I can't fluctuate the tone. So I be trying to like, hey, well, can you just then I start feeling uncomfortable with myself. Like that's not even you. It's like
Thanks.
always going.
Listen, it's a process. Like, I, that's one reason why I started the podcast is because sometimes it's hard for me to use my voice. Like my best friend, I think I've said this before. My best friend told me I would get kidnapped because and nobody would hear me because my voice is so light. She said I'd be like help, help, and nobody would hear
Like
me.
a little mouse.
Yeah, and that's how I've always been from a child up until the point. But now I use my big girl voice. I do. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a learning process. It's a
But see,
level
what did
thing.
you learn though? Like, was you not comfortable with your help? Like
I was not. I was not.
there you go. See, there you go. There you go. But there's something along that journey between I think it's monotone, allotone, whatever, between your low to high, right? You was like, let me self reflect. Let me, and you know what? Am I really comfortable being low? Probably naturally in your zen, yes. But when you need to go high, now you're comfortable being able to be there. You know what I mean? I always thought, because fun fact, like I can't scream. I didn't scream giving birth. I didn't scream giving natural birth. Like I cannot scream. So I always thought that, well, damn, maybe you just got this hard, loud voice. But then people be like, oh my God, I like your voice. And I'm like, what? I'm sorry, come again. My voice.
Wow.
So I
I've
don't
never
hear what y'all are hearing.
I've hold on. I've never heard that nobody that you can't scream.
So I literally can't be like, ah! I just, when you scare me, like when my daughter's scared, I'd be like, oh shit, but just to scream, no, I can't.
Yeah.
Or like I'll get scared of something. And because I say, oh shit a lot, she's like, what happened? What happened? Like she know I can't scream.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm gonna talk
That's
to my mom about that later on because that's probably, but I can't scream at all.
that's a new one. Hey, I love it
Yeah.
though. I love it. Like, yeah, yeah, baby. So tell us about the kids. How old are they?
What then? What do you want to talk about?
I know, I know. Look, I ain't trying to wake nobody up. I ain't trying to.
Listen, some people. So my daughter's 10. She's a left-handed Sag. She's a Sagittarian, a December Sag. She's pretty dope. My son just turned 2. He's a left-handed Aries, April Aries, just turned 2. So they're 8 years apart. The fuck was I doing? Like,
Listen, listen, and they're so beautiful, y'all. They're so beautiful. So
thank you.
as a mom, like, how do you do it all the things that you do?
See me, baby, right? So back to the why. Back to the why. So I like to keep a clean house. I believe in home cooked meals. I'm in school full time. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm open mic artist. I'm a licensed bartender. I sell
Okay.
jello, infused jello, all these variations of things, right? My why? Because they didn't ask to be here. I'm the first in four generations to go to college. They deserve to see something better, you
Yeah.
know? So I feel like I'm in love with my kids. I don't just love them. I am in love with my kids. So for me, I believe in structure and functionality. So I think it fuels me when there's order in the home, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to know that I'm possibly doing all this hard work and taking lashes along the way to see the betterment of them, and
Yeah.
I can control that while they're young. They're almost like little balls of clay. And I think we come from
Mm,
so much toxicity and so much trauma that if you can take the control of this new ball of clay and mold it in something beautiful, why not utilize power in a flourishing way? So
facts.
that's what keeps me going. I love my babies. But you need structure to
Motivation.
do all this shit.
Facts. Facts. I applaud you. I applaud you. When the moment you
Thanks,
told me
Queen.
you were going back to school, I was like, whew, whew. But yeah, you got it, and
Girl,
we're about to
I
finish up, right?
I was hello in like 30 days. You'll see it. Okay, excited. I was so proud of school, and I had Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I had I wasn't gonna have kids, so that's why I was having another kid, so that's why the duration so damn long. But then the girl started talking, and she's like, "You got six siblings, so why can I do that one?" And I'm like, "Damn, she might be right." But that was a challenge, you know. In school, they don't have fucking desks for pregnant people because I was huge and I had to sit sideways. I was like, "Just give me a snack because this is certified." But now that he's here,
Amazing.
it's driving me something different too, you know. So gotta want more. You gotta want more. But mommy gets real.
For
Mommy
real.
gets real. Especially
For real.
if you're out of structure, you don't have time. I'm very huge on time management, but emotionally, like everything has a bucket. So but again, once you have the tools, and I believe I have the tools, it gets I smooth sail. But thank you. I appreciate that.
Not a problem. Not a
Come
problem.
on over to this life, sis, because it's something fun.
Listen, you are not the only one that has told me.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm be all up in the messages. Hey, come on.
Listen,
Because imagine, right, foreseeing it right now, like all that you do, all that you're growing into your better version of yourself. You're gonna choose right for that offspring.
I see it. I
Mm,
can see it. Put it like that. I can see it.
well, I'm waiting to see it.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. So
Well,
let's
I'm
get into
manifesting right now, but let's go on. Got you.
all right. So you
Charm and
mentioned,
healing.
yeah, you mentioned earlier about generational curses and things like that. And I definitely heard, like, when I first started listening to the Brown Table, there was a piece that was so, it was on fire. And I could tell that it was something that, had happened. And then I think you did another one where you were talking about things with your mom. Let's get into that. What's one thing that has weighed heavy on your heart and kind of shape you into who you are?
You need like a flash of a trigger warning before you just pop up trauma in here. Jesus, you just triggered. I got that little trigger.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
We're gonna get
You're
into the
good.
healing. The healing.
Right. Follow something soft.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the main question?
What's something that you would like to share, that something that shaped you into who you are. Sometimes we go through, life be life, and life really life.
All right. My parents, obviously relationships start from home. My parents, they all fucked up.
Mm,
They fucked up. So it was my parents, probably more my mother than my father. Rest his soul in peace. But I say my parents because they didn't raise me. I didn't live with them. So my mother got 7 kids. And I talk about, there's a piece that goes viral every time I perform it. It's called Mother Quo, and it's one of my most requested pieces. And my mother's an addict, and she never stopped being an addict, right? And so it was like, damn, like I thought, when a woman has a child, you're like blissfully like ready to take over the world, throw your armor on, then take it off when you're home, be gentle. So I never really had that motherly love. And because my parents didn't raise me, my father is an addict, was an addict as well. Um, their parents raised me, right? And their parents.
whoa.
So I today I consider myself a little bit of an alchemist because essentially I was raised by women from the 30s to the 50s,
Right.
right? But I'm brought up in this 21st society, like the fuck. So, but I think the pain caused by my parents and the things that happened to me because of their lack of parenting, I was like fucked up in the game for a little while. You might like the outcome that you see today, who you're talking to today, but it took a while. So, I didn't have my daughter until I was 26. So I wasn't a young mom, or that's considerably young, but not like a teenager, you know.
Right.
So I just vowed to myself to do something different. Like I said, my mother had 7 new balls of clay. 7.
Right.
But you ain't get it right at all. You none.
Yeah. So how was that dynamic? Like, where do you fall in the seven?
2.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
all of you all were together, or y'all were in different
So we
places?
was yeah, we was broken apart. So my oldest brother and me was together. My 2 middle brothers were together. Twin sisters were together. Then the baby wasn't, but they were together in other sporadic places. Like we was between Boston, Woburn, freaking Somerset, Mass, Virginia, New
Okay.
Jersey. So I didn't know 3 of my sisters. So the girls I didn't know. And
Okay.
so that opened up a whole new fucking wound for me. Like I yearned for this family concept. I yearned for this interpersonal, affectionate ass, like, oh, these are my siblings. I knew my brothers, like the one I was raised with, and then the boys would come,
Yeah.
and visit on holidays and stuff, but it wasn't the interpersonal relationship. So I'm like, damn, this lady kept on having kids, like not thinking about the outcome long term of the pain and the domino effect I was gonna cause.
Yeah.
Why the hospitals didn't flag your ass? Like, why didn't you get cut off? So it kind of made me appreciate family a little bit more differently. And I think it also, being raised by my grandparents and their parents,
Yeah. Yeah.
essentially
Yeah.
birthed my writing, because those are the generations that don't communicate. Because I'm like, what
Talk
the
about
fuck,
it. Talk
I'm
about it.
telling you, they didn't communicate. So I learned that whatever I write on paper, that bitch can't talk back. You can't say
Right.
nothing. You can't deny my truth. And I just started writing. But it
That
so there's some good out of it.
that part. So
What is it, sis?
so again, me not using my voice when I was younger. So this is how I would communicate with my mom when I needed to say something, because your elders are like, what I say goes, and that's what it's gonna be. But you also teach me to use my voice. But if I can't use my voice, then I'm gonna write. So here, I'm laying out my proposal, my point of view, so you see it. So she was more receptive of it when I wrote it out the way I wrote it. And then she was like, you could have came to me and said this. No, you said what you said, and that's how it was gonna be. But that was my
it was
method.
it was like an invisible barrier, like you said. On one end, it's like, you can come to me. On the other end, we was a part of the child seen not heard ever, so no,
Yeah.
we couldn't. And then on top of that, you forgot that you didn't make us comfortable to also come to you. Then you also forgot to take accountability because your ass wasn't showing no affection. So which one is it? You know?
It's like, that fear of, you stay in a child's place. Stay in a child's place.
Oh man, or them ass whoopings, one or the other, because my grandparents, they were close to the slavery and all that other stuff, so they violent. I was like, God damn.
Listen, I try to stay far away from that. So I did stay in the home with my mom's parents. So I tried to stay far away from the whole whoopings. But my grandma would tell you, go outside and pick your switch. Pick your switch and
And
come
they
on.
don't even understand that now. Go pick your switcher. You better not pick one of them old thin ass switches
Man.
either, okay? And I don't even know where them trees are at anymore. You know what I'm saying? But they switches, they always seem to be back then. I was having a conversation really quick the other day, and I'm like, damn, my era ran a lot. Like, we always got chased by fucking dogs. Like, where was the bill on having and now it just seems obsolete. Like we crazy. No, there was switches and there was a lot of damn dogs we ran from. Hello.
Facts. I would wait for the bus in the morning, and the stray dogs would just come. Like I was getting on the bus one day, and it caught my leg, and I'm like, like y'all don't. Yeah, yeah. The
No
dog got
shit.
the dog got me. The dog got me.
Uh-uh. Nah, listen, I jump on cars, I run around in circles. I gotta go. I gotta go. I never ran from a human, but baby, four legs, I'm out.
For real.
Hmm. But it took me a long time to really, again, sociology helps me understand how some
Right.
things lead to another. So once I started really seeing how the pain that I was harnessing within of my parents started affecting my behavior, I started becoming trauma informed. And that's why trauma awareness is like a huge thing for me. I think people just only identify or associate trauma with, oh shit, that person just got hit by a car. No,
Yeah.
you know, it's intangible too. But my parents, yeah, they were addicted to drugs. So the what's excuse me, what's that? The crack cocaine epidemic.
Okay.
They
I
felt it.
did see a video, like you had posted some videos a while ago where y'all had went on you and your mom had went on vacation. How are y'all's relationship now?
So the relationship shitty, um, because she's still an active addict. Um, she loves the peace, by the way. She's like, you're so real, because she does hold herself accountable.
Okay.
Um, but I thought if I can make the moments happen, this will change up here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So going, bringing her to Florida, that's where we was at, and being with her first granddaughter, would be like, okay, I can, and I had to realize, like, damn, Rebel, that's your little girl. That wasn't Big Rebel. That was my little girl. Like, mommy, come on. We can do this together. I'll pay, I'll make it happen. We can just stay in this space.
Yeah. Like they always say, they have to want that. They have to want it.
But
And
like you said in the beginning, we have to always reevaluate our chapters as adults too. They don't just stay the same, and I had to address my little girl.
yeah. So how does she feel, or how does she kind of express herself with knowing that about your mom?
She who? How does my mom feel?
Your daughter.
So she doesn't know that she's an addict.
Okay.
I did refrain that from her, but she gets the ripple effects of the broken promises. My
Okay.
daughter's 10, she got a cell phone, so it's like, oh, I'll come see you. And then the monkey goes on her back, the promises get broke, the hopelessness sets in. So I kind of had to make a conscious decision like, am I allowing this because of the title of the person? Or is the damage going to be greater than the person? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
I do leave my doors open for her to see her grandkids.
Okay.
But to expose my daughter to it just yet, nah.
And I get it. Hold off as long as you can.
I'm trying,
Because
right, with
when
less
it's real,
pain,
it's real. Yep, yep.
It is. And I think that, certain things, certain relationships that we have as adults are also driven by our home relationships. And we need to honor that and we need to talk about that and address it, because there's certain I would be, I've been in like, let's say 6 relationships. I know I was holding one hand up. Six. 5 of them, you have to wait. 5 of them, they all have substance abuse problems. And I'm
Mm,
like, oh no, it's okay. Long as your behavior don't change, it's okay. I'm used to dealing with this shit.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
that's a toxic trait, right?
yeah. So I just had that conversation last night. Like I can remember the conversation me and my dad had because I'll admit I have daddy issues because
Hmm.
I think I said this on one of my other episodes. I longed to be that daddy's girl, and
Hmm.
he couldn't be the dad I envisioned. So now I take away, and I know me as a Cancer, like I'm a dreamer, I'm a visionary. I have to take away the fantasy and see, like I have to acknowledge what it really is. So I noticed that I would create a fantasy for the potential guys that I would talk to. Now, no fantasy, no fantasy. It is what it is. You Words are pretty. I always say that words are pretty. You can, even though words of affirmation is my love language. Yeah, that's cute and all, but your actions behind those words is what's gonna matter the most. So
I love that for you.
yeah,
That is no, honestly, like that is so transformative. Like that is a vital piece to a lot of these lesser vibrating, you know, women and to their counterparts. So for you to be able to identify that and then own, I understand how, astrology can play in my mindset and develop these puffy fucking cute
man,
clouds. You
yeah.
know what I
You have
mean?
to you
Like
have to you
that
have to
is
be
so
able to
dope.
distinguish fantasy versus expectation. I expect you to do this, but you can also have this super fantasy that's unreal, unmatched.
I use the word illusion, and I was living in illusions for a long time. And the thing about the illusions, the motherfuckers are real up here. Okay. And if you don't
Real.
check out of there, baby. But
Hey,
I think that what do we want from the men, right? We want to feel, I think ultimately we want to kind of understand the essence of us being women and then that femininity and having that protector, that kind of like, I got you. You know what I mean? Like, you're
yeah,
good. That's security. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's how it starts creating when we lack it. I think that's how we start creating aggressive women, you know?
yeah. So that definitely brings us into revelations to elevation.
You just flowing. You doing that on
Like
purpose. Go ahead, sis.
what was a defining moment for you when it came to healing and elevating to where you are now? Like because I
The
know
same shit.
what
Nah, well, at one point I was homeless, right? And I was like, yo, I'm tired of doing the same shit. And I'm not religious, so I always say the universe. And I was like, I'm tired of doing the same shit. I'm getting the same results. And whatever this is not fucking working for me. And now what do I do? So you know me, because I can very resilient, I jumped. So I was like, all right. But I really had to hit a low, low place in my life where, how you talk about people be talking your bullshit, when I used to talk about people and I became one of them people. And it's like, haha,
mm,
bitch, 'cause karma is loyal. Karma is loyal.
right,
And so with that, I was like, all right, let's like a snake, let's shed this layer and jump. And that's how, I came into spirituality. We got smartphones, so I'm not going to be dumber than my phone. So I started searching. Inquired minds want to know, and I've always been a why girl. And I'm like, all right, cool. What works for me? What feels right in my spirit? And I didn't even understand that spirit was a thing because I was raised by elders who's talking about Jesus is still white, and I'm supposed to, you know, all hail to Jesus. Um, but it felt right. So I'm like, okay, if we are operating off of energy and frequency amongst each other, then that little gut feelings confirming or alerting, right?
yeah,
And I just started following that feeling. And I prayed to the universe, like, just keep guiding me and I'll listen, I'll submit. But I want more. I want more.
right. You have to want it in order for it to manifest. Use your words, manifest it. Do different things. Like you have to make the effort to do different.
Don't forget you can manifest writing down too, you all.
Yes. Yes. So I still supposed to do a vision board. I was supposed to do one last year, but I at least wrote my points down. And as soon as I wrote them down, things started happening for real. So I'm a firm
That's how
believer
it
you
happens.
write it down.
But let me just give you a nugget. You can start your new year over tomorrow.
Facts.
You don't have to wait until the new year. You
Nah,
can start your new year over
I'm
whenever the hell
definitely
you want.
gonna do it. I'm still gonna do it. Like
Yeah.
I've never put one together, like the little vision board. I've never put one together. I don't know. I'm creative and all, but I feel like I'm gonna get it wrong. But I'm gonna do it
You
anyway.
can't get your vision board wrong though, sis.
Okay.
You can't. Now how you go about obstructing it, I go to Staples, get a nice board piece of blank paper, get
Yeah.
some magazines, I'll cut out something that has a home on it, put it up there. I'll write something that says perseverance, put it up there. You can't do it wrong because it's your vision. And you know what? You can incorporate your cloud in that motherfucker too, okay? Just to feel good. That's it. That is it. You know, I got a whole credit score on my vision
Boom.
board. Just the number 800, baby.
Hello.
So you
Hello.
can't do it wrong. Hmm.
Well, we're gonna get it in. I really wanted to do a vision board party too for those who still wanted to do it because me and my coworkers we talked about it, but we have yet to actually do it. So we'll probably make that a thing. We'll make that a thing.
Yeah, you know, if you do a live one, definitely I'll join. That's one of the things of me being unapologetic. It's almost like I'm unorthodox, and so we don't have to just do a vision board once a year. We can do a vision board
Most
every quarter
people,
of the year.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Cause you always have go and I don't like to say like New Year's resolutions. I don't like to say that anymore. I
Yeah.
always say my intentions for the year. And you're gonna always have intentions. You might have a I'm gonna do this month. This is my intention for the month. So it'll definitely change throughout the year. But I like to say these are the things that I intend to do by,
Hmm.
the end of the year. So
That's it.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
So natural speaker, ma'am. How do people contact you for speaking engagements? Like how do you find ways to connect to people and speaking in public?
Email. So how do I find them? I'm big on networking. I
Okay.
definitely I engage in a lot of community events as time permits. Again, we are up north, so we got seasons where everybody like hibernates because the snow is illegal.
Hmm.
Um, but I do utilize my social platforms. So everything's under She's a Rebel. I have a business page people message me on, especially if they want like for me to vendor. I have the brown table as an option when people want to come on as guests, share topics, or ask me to speak. Everything's under She's underscore Rebel. I do have the email, the brown table, tbt@gmail.com. But that's also on all my social platforms. So and then my number's on Facebook. I'm kind of like, fuck it. What are you gonna do? Tap into my camera and stalk me? Like, no, just hit me up.
Whoa, that look, that's wild. That's wild. But no, you are definitely an open book, and I love it. I love it.
It can be a curse and a blessing. You know, I try not to let out. Especially when I'm goal planning, like I do it in silence. Like you don't see me posting on Facebook about college and none of that, right? Because
Yeah.
I do feel like sometimes when you have so much goodness going on and you expose it to people, misery loves company. You try to
Say
like be a
that.
blessing blocker, and I don't like those.
Say that.
Hmm.
Say that. So yeah, I'm definitely one like I'll keep it under wraps until I feel like I'm ready to say so.
Yeah, yeah. As you should, but everything else, like people inbox me like, or I'll get opportunities on social media because they're following what I'm saying, or when I'm posting affirmations or level of awareness and talking my shit, like get your shit together. You know what I mean?
Right?
I get a lot of requests. So I utilize social media in a networking form to be steps to adding on to me growing up, not to be in a fake therapeutic session and
Yeah,
drama
yeah,
and
yeah.
all that other shit. I ain't got time.
Like I feel like you're on a journey and you're just inviting people to come along.
Why not? Why not? Because what else has gotten us somewhere? Like Hating on each other hasn't gotten us anywhere. Blowing out
Nope.
somebody else's torch and light hasn't gotten us anywhere.
Nope.
Temporarily fucking boycotting hasn't gotten us anywhere. Like,
Whew.
no.
Say that.
And then we came from the era like, remember Red Rover, bring whoever right over, and they have
Yes.
to run, you have to hold really tight and they can't
Yes.
break through. That's what I want.
Unity. Unity.
That part.
Love
That part.
it. Love it. So you also you mentioned what you would like to do with the youth and being, you know, a advocate and someone who can help, shape the community. Like,
Hmm.
enlighten us on that. Like, what would be the groundwork for that program?
So I think for me, what I'm noticing with we have like Black and Latino male youth coalition and certain things. I think one of the hardest things is allowing the women to come in, right? Because I used to work for DYS.
Okay.
I used to work on a murder unit, and so it's really changing the perception that I don't need to have the same genitals to kind of tap into you, but it's also a learning curve because some of the people in my physical form have also hurt them. So me wanting to work with male um male youth and men, the challenge is really having them not see me as a physical being, just seeing me as she's a rebel. Because I know your mom hurt you. I know your aunt hurt you. So then in hindsight, you would naturally reject my physical being. So, it's kind of, I try to turn manipulation into something positive. So I'll try to manipulate their minds and then come in like, now we need your trauma healing. You know what I'm saying? It's time to do our
Okay.
work, and be a resources. And so I feel like me being resourceful has allowed me to provoke them and manipulate them into hearing me and really doing some of their work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but I
I
think just putting myself out there, man, like just doing it.
Love it. I I think that's definitely a good thing because I think you can provide insight on it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to show your feelings, express yourself in a safe space because it's gonna help you heal in the end. So I think
Hmm.
you'll create some good techniques and tools for them to
Thank
do so.
you. Thank you.
I also
I got.
it was a young lady. She did like she was doing a play, and she said for
Mhm.
in order for her to do it, she had to sit and listen. She put herself in a place to listen to men, like what they were saying about because I think it was about relationships. So they were giving their side of things of the relationship and what went wrong. So sometimes we're prone to jump in like, well, I think this is why it happened, just to kind of counteract. But she said she had to force herself to sit there and listen, just listen and learn. So that's another reason why I also do the male perspective. It gives me a chance to tap into the male mind and let them share their point of view and tell us the reason why or if how they see a certain situation when we might see it a little bit differently. So I always love that, giving them a space to just be.
Well, I think that we also have to understand that there's a thin line between male processing and women processing. A man, you know, they want to if you take a maze, they just want to get, excuse me, from start to finish,
Hmm.
right? Women, we want to go through it. We want to see that corner. We want to know what's over here. We are more
Cool.
detailed oriented. And I think that sometimes not understanding the pure fundamentals of our anatomy causes friction.
Yep.
So for me, let me just say this. For me, my why with men is I come from a home that I've watched black men be hopeless. I've watched recidivism. I've watched, afternoon, I've watched them lose hope, you know.
Hmm.
So I had to start really tapping in. I can't go to a man or a young man and be completely emotionally forefront leading. That's not how I'm gonna tap into them,
Right.
right? But
It's
if
like,
I come to them leading logically, right? As they're supposed to be providers and doers and fixers and builders.
Right.
Logically, then I can kind of make my entry to manipulate conversations and gain whatever I need to know and whatever you need to hear. You understand? But just
Right.
coming as this emotionalized woman, they oftentimes reject that. And then they expect that. They expect, okay, this is a woman, she's gonna, not all the time, you know. So I think that's what separates me a lot too, with
That's
this
it's
population.
definitely a surprise factor. Yeah, you gonna trip them up a little bit. Like,
Just
what?
just a little bit, yeah, let's say just a little bit. Um, because I'm in a state, I'm in a Commonwealth state. Boston is the capital in Massachusetts, right?
Right.
And so I always call it Massachusetts. There's resources, a plethora of resources for women, especially if you're a mom or a single mom, you know, but there's a whole fucking population that's being forgot about. And I believe in yin and yang. I believe in energy. So I believe we are 50 as they are 50. And the more we can have some form of unification understanding, then the better we can develop as a people, because
Right.
something's not working. So my contribution, you know, in service is to create these platforms, do my internal work, and then put it back out into the universe, you know?
Oh, love
Ooh,
it. Love it. Love it. That's gonna be something amazing. Whatever you need, you know I'm here to help
that's why I need you. Yes.
you. You know it. I'm right here. Look, one phone call away.
That's it. That's it. I told you from day one, man. It was so it our relationship, you all, for all the viewers, like when you're engaging in something, creating something, and it's done effortlessly, it's right. This didn't take any effort. We naturally was like, I mean, on top of me being a Pisces and she's a Cancer, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause we're definitely compatible. You
Yes.
know?
One
It
time
just works, but
together.
it was effortlessly. But yeah, I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you, like, you know, back end, front end, more conversations. Yes, queen. Yes. Um,
Your fellow Pisces.
you know, like it's just, and this is like, this is free. People can tap in, they can get rejuvenated. We're pouring into thousands of cups right now, even in Canada. Hello, you know, come on, you know, so
Definitely,
it's dope.
definitely. But definitely, y'all definitely check her out on her website. All the wonderful things that she offers. Go follow her Facebook and Instagram. Just type she's underscore rebel and tap
Yes,
in, tap in. She's amazing. And like she said, she's unapologetic. So what you see is what you get. She's real about it. She real about it for real.
basically. Basically. And I appreciate you, Queen. I really do. But we definitely gotta grow. We definitely gotta
Definitely,
grow. I'm
definitely.
coming, trust me. I'm coming. I'm coming right along with you.
For real. Like I told
Hmm.
somebody the other day, I said, when I come, you are coming up too. Like
That's
vice
it,
versa, vice
man.
versa. It's enough for everybody, and a lot of people don't have that mindset. Like you do something so amazing, and you can definitely, kind of shine and compliment it as well, and then you
Hmm.
have your own avenue. Like people, everybody has a lane. Everybody has a
That's
lane. Like you can you
that's
can you can imitate, but you can't duplicate.
that. I tell people all the time, you know, you can try to mimic my behavior,
Ooh,
knock yourself the fuck out. But baby, if you don't get the mindset, that shit, I ain't worried about nothing. I tell people all the time, I ain't worried about nothing.
that's right, Jazz. Let's all eat for real, for real.
That part. And it starts from here. Not it starts from here. Like this is effortlessly, you know what I'm saying, done. And it's really just happening. But I think that a lot of adults really do not understand that you're that little girl and that little boy still driving. And we need to understand that. And so,
Right.
you know, I'm here for it. We can have repetitive episode. It don't matter.
I
It does
love
not
it.
matter. I would love to do a live with you though.
Okay.
Where we can live stream and on Facebook, obviously, and people can literally actively just chime in too. So I would love to do that. So
Definitely, definitely. So I'm gonna turn it over for just a second. If you got a question, get to know Kaylee. Ask me anything. Is it anything you want to know?
I want to know everything. You know what I'm saying? I want to know everything. I want to know it all. Like I love knowing people. Yeah. So, what is the reward that you get out of connecting people and doing all the digital content and creating that you do? And yes, you are. She showed my brown table, and she's the creator of the image. Like, dude, we didn't even get into that, but like, she knocked it out the park. She did that. So the image that y'all seen, she did that. But what is the reward for you?
Like I've said before, I am a visionary,
Hmm.
and it's a blessing that sometimes I can see the vision clearly for other people. So being able to connect, I get to hone into those who are really passionate, real, and genuine about what it is that they want to do, the path that they want to take. And I just love seeing people happy on their journey. So if I can help in any way, let's make it happen. So I love connecting to find like-minded visionaries and seeing how we can grow together.
So what's the negative side of that for you in terms of drainage and energy exhaustion? Yeah. Hmm.
I am an empath. So I
Hmm.
sometimes I feel all the feels of what other people are feeling. So when they are overly stressed, and then like when everybody has something that they need, I can shut down. I like when it feels overwhelming, I admit I shut down. And
Mm.
it's not saying that I don't want to help. It's just my body is like, where do I start? And I feel unproductive if I'm not starting. So it's a whole mess when it gets to that point. But I've been trying to practice giving myself the time that I need to kind of just rejuvenate and recharge. So I'll take some time to be like, hey, I'm not answering anything until Monday morning, and I'll take the weekend to kind of recharge if needed.
So what are those recharging tools? Is it just kind of going your phone on D&D? Like what is in more detail?
Yeah, yeah. I try to put it down as much as I can. I try to leave my computer off because sometimes as a designer, I have to look at the screen, and not all of my glasses have the blue light. So sometimes my yeah, so I have to give my eyes a rest. So I just shut it off, and there's a type of joy in something that I can kind of control because I also have a fear of like the unknown sometimes. So
Hmm.
me binge watching a show that I've been binge watched multiple times because I know exactly what is about to happen. That's a type of control for me. So I'll go back and watch Charmed over again.
Interesting.
I'll go back and watch Criminal Minds again. And once I start, I gotta complete. So
Interesting. That is, in that form of control, that is definitely crazy.
yep.
That is crazy.
Like my mom be like, she was like, "You watching that again?" Is because it takes me to a different world that I know,
Hmm.
and I know
But
it.
you're identifying control in a small form.
Yeah.
You're like, I know I watched this show before.
Yep.
Like that is amazing. You're like, I know I watched this show before and I do it again. Like that's a form of control for you. That is so different. I've never heard anything like that. That is so different. I love it.
Yep.
And it's a healthy form of control though, right? Let's
Yeah, yeah,
add that
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I go back to some cartoons that I like. So being able to detach from all the stress and all the to-do lists, it just like your body is just like new energy coming in. Clean slate.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
That's good. I'm not big on TV, but
yeah.
my my
What
one of my
what is your self-care?
one of my guilty pleasures for self care, you know what I'm saying? I gotta keep my feet done all year long.
Yeah.
I will scrape pennies. Yes, yes. I will scrape pennies to get my feet done. Like you don't even understand. I go to Ling 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 Lao Ling, whoever. You'll get all these nickels, quarters. I'm telling you. Um, I got into I identified a little violent side, you know what I'm saying? So I got into some meditation. I've always been a fighter, let me say
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
always We didn't come from smartphones and technology, so I had
Oh,
to,
yeah.
you know, um, so meditation, like you would, and I'm in the hood, y'all, but meditation, just this sense of relief, and like you, I'm an empath, but this sense of release is like, it's just blissful. It took me a year to really understand to do it effectively, but pedicures and
Man,
meditation, baby, my feet stay down all year long, because when you got the shower, you put some on your feet, or I wear my slides, and it's like, oh, this pretty color, like all is good.
I feel you. I do. I need to go see my lady too, cause
See,
the last time Lillian did my feet, I almost proposed to her myself.
you
The way
see what I'm
the way
saying?
she rubbed my
I
feet,
was like,
man.
baby, um, I do go get Thai massages as well. I
Okay,
be like, can you come home with me? Like, my house is clean. I cook. I know how to cook
I
Vietnamese
feed
food. Like,
you.
I'm
I
very,
feed you.
listen. I ask them every time. They know my whole name, and they get me every time. They be like, now such and such. I can't do. I'm like, just come on, your number. Yo, so
Shoot your
that's
shot,
small.
sis. Shoot your
Yeah,
shot.
listen, I just need you to come to my house for like 2 hours. Let me get a massage 2 hours straight. But I tell myself, when I'm rewarding myself with my pedicures, the massage, and meditation, that's a time for me to intentionally let something go. So when I come out of it, I'm not having that same shit that I went in with.
Oh,
You know.
I'm gonna take that into note when I go back for my next massage. Like
So
you do think about it.
honestly,
What are you gonna release as they're releasing the tension?
and why are you rewarding yourself if you're not going to release the shit that got you to the reward anyway?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Respectfully, I love you. Respectfully.
Be mindful. You gotta be mindful of. No, thank you, thank you. All right, this has been wonderful.
I
I
love
appreciate you
you.
for coming on. I do.
But listen, I owed you one. You know what I'm saying? I completely flaked, you all. Like, I completely flaked. It's just, the balance. But I love this, and even like this interview, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna share it. But then I just got rid of at least two things on this interview. So it
Ooh,
just recharged me for the second half of my day, right? We just poured into viewers, we poured into each other. Like, I was in a comforting space to be transparent, be vulnerable. So I can applaud myself with a reward. Like, you know what? You did your due diligence. You know what I mean? And I
right
appreciate that, because you're giving that to us.
in that part.
Hmm.
Take what you could take out of these, and we just here to keep pouring into each other and
That's it.
uplifting. I try to keep it positive. I try to make sure everybody can get something out of these. It's always the purpose. It is. It is. So
But we
anybody
gotta go have on a radio station or something. We gotta, what I'm
hello,
saying? We gotta bring it home. Listen, baby, I
hello.
will relocate with my pick me's anytime.
Let's get it. Let's get it. So again, y'all go ahead and follow her at she's underscore a rebel on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you visit her website at she's a rebel.com. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And get into all the good things. If y'all want to be a guest, y'all got topics you want to suggest, got music you want
I'm
reviewed.
on the brown table, baby.
Come on the brown table, hit me up also, and let's get it popping. Let's talk about it. Let's sing about it. Let's rap about it. Now, I did.
Hmm.
Yeah, do you rap?
No, I don't. My voice, see, because my voice is hard, right? You see, you would think I would. Nah, I'm
No,
just saying.
no. I think
Nah,
you do
no.
it. Look, Glorilla out here doing her thing, and her voice way deeper than yours.
Listen, no, she sure is. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Queen.
sis.
Thank you. Um, I don't. I mean, I flow and I rebuttal. I do
Oh,
rebuttal.
okay.
I definitely rebuttal some words. But I don't rap. I'm not an MC. Nah.
We're gonna test
You-
this out.
When you do open, I was just.
We're gonna test this
I
out.
caught that energy. I caught that empathic
And,
energy.
and then,
I got you. I got you.
all right, y'all.
Thank
We
you
go
for
ahead,
having
y'all.
me.
Not a problem. Thank you for coming on, taking a little time out your day to come on with us. Kiss those babies for me.
Okay.
Those beautiful creative babies, because
Mm.
I know you passing on that energy to them as well.
Oh man, and they're both left-handed. They better come with something.
So,
That's why you can't leave me. Okay.
and will not. And will
But
not.
that part, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. We have to definitely do this again. Let's try to get more frequent, but I know we gotta also be in the reality world too. So,
Indeed,
you know.
indeed. We're gonna make it happen though. But
Yes,
until
yes.
next time, squad, y'all know what to do. Keep it bossy, keep it saucy, and don't forget to tell your girl how you bossy.